Hey, it's me, Tammy B, and this is my review for Basketball Wives LA. So, this is the episode that came on Sunday, August 30th. All right, so we pretty much start basically the next day from last week's episode. So, apparently, when the cameras cut off, Drea and Brandy got into a really heated argument, and the producer cameras kind of caught it all, but they didn't like show it on the episode last week, but I guess they're showing it on this episode. So basically, Drea told Brandy that her cancer story was boring. So the next day, Brandy goes to Malaysia's house so they can talk about it. And that was pretty interesting because Brandy said, "Oh, why don't you ever come to the door?" And Malaysia was like, "Oh, because you have a key." Like, I don't know. Like, I understand Malaysia's single, but I don't know anybody who I would trust enough to just have a key and just let them come in anytime. But I understand friends are different and they've known each other for a long time. So I guess. So anyway, Malaysia's room was really cute. I really liked that purple and silver. That was a really nice room. Um, and so basically, they just talk about Drea. They were just saying that, wow, I'm surprised that she's felt this way all along and she's supposed to be our friend. So she's not really a friend if clearly she hates us that much. And Malaysia was saying hates us. I'm like, wasn't even talking about you, really. She was talking about Brandy. So where does Malaysia come from? Hates us. But whatever, they're friends. So they're on the same side. And I don't know how to feel about that, you guys. Like, they played it back so many times. And I was reading a little censor, but I mean, Drea didn't specifically say cancer, the disease, is boring. Like, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, she's a heartless person. She thinks cancer in general is boring. Basically, she was saying Brandy is boring. And honestly, I feel like even if she did say the words cancer is boring, which I did not see, clearly, come on, y'all know she trying to say basically Brandy is boring. Don't act like you ain't never heard that all these seasons you've been on the show. I mean, I like Brandy, but I've just heard that before. So come on now, you guys, don't try to make it seem like Dre is the devil and she don't care about any person or any child or anybody in the world who has cancer. Like, that's not the case. Like, whether those words came out or not, you know that that's not what she meant, and she meant you're boring. So hey, it is what it is. So then Brandy had a lot this episode, so she's actually picking up this season. Then they showed her and her husband. Can you guys hear that blower? Okay, I'm gonna just roll the windows up just in case that little like the maintenance guy, the ground workers are doing their thing. Um so basically, Brandy and her friends or family are all together, and they're getting ready for Jason to come home. And which was funny because she was like, "Oh, Jason's on his way home," and I was like, "I thought you said he couldn't live there or come over." As soon as I said that, after Jason come in, she noticed he had bags and was like, "Oh, you're staying here." But like I said, he pays for the place, so where else would he stay? Maybe y'all don't have to stay in the same room if you still that mad at him, but where else is he gonna stay? But anyway, that's my first time really seeing this Jason guy up close, and he's a handsome dude, and he seems to understand that he's done wrong, and at least he brought up, why don't we go ahead and go to counseling? And they were real censored in the conversation. Clearly, I guess they don't want to fight or give details on camera, but at the same time, you have to talk about it on camera. So it's really not clear, because she said something about 7 months ago, and he said something about a year or two ago. So when did you cheat? Recently or 7 months ago? And even if it was 7 months ago, it must have still been something recently, because from 7 months ago and she still moved away, like, no, you don't stay gone for like 7 months. So whenever he did cheat, number one, he's wrong, but number two, like, okay, it's been enough time where they should have been hashed this out by now. So Angel makes Malaysia her dress for Brandy's cancer event, you guys. And I didn't know Angel made clothes, but the dress was really, really cute. I was really surprised. So good thing she does have kind of like a talent, just in case, this basketball wife thing don't work out, or just in case she never gets back with the guy she had her second baby by. So the dress was really nice. It was cut really low in the back. So she's supposed to alter that, but I thought the dress was cute. Angel reveals to Malaysia that she's not going to the thing, to Brandy's cancer event, because Dre is not going, and she's Drea's friend, so she's gonna stick by her. Next scene is between Shaunie and her oldest son. So her and Shaq's oldest son is 17. Wow, time flies. So he asks the mother for an apartment, and the mother says, "Oh, it's not that easy. How about I help you with your clothing line?" Now, I don't know, y'all. Like, I was like, okay, I get what she's saying. Like, oh, let me teach you to have a job so you can afford your own apartment. But I'm like, okay, well, first of all, no, I wouldn't buy my 17-year-old son an apartment either, unless he was like going to college or something and close to the dorms or something. But whatever, you know. I don't know. That seemed like, I get it. She's trying to teach him, like, oh, let me show you how to start your business and you can pay for your own apartment. So she's like, oh, you want to do a clothing line? Let me help you with your clothing line. Now, I don't know how much it costs to start or set up a clothing line, but they're in Los Angeles, and I do know how much apartments cost. So let's say, well, now that I think about the type of apartment that he would get. Okay, but let's say you get your average American apartment. Like, you can get an apartment for $1,000 a month. So let's say she paid for rent for a whole year and was like, after that, you figure it out on your own. Like $12,000? Like, are you getting him? So to me, it seemed cheaper to get him a little apartment once he graduates so he can get out the way, pay for it for a year, like $12,000, and then let him figure out his own life after that. But, you know, I mean, I get it. Number one, the apartment he get is probably going to be way more. So maybe it is cheaper helping him with his clothing line. And then number two, hey, what's going to happen at the end of the 12 months if he doesn't have a job or do his clothing line? So he'll be right back asking her. So I got it, but at the same time, I'm like, if my mama said, oh, I help you with your business instead of helping you with your rent, I'd be like, hey, to me, that was a better deal, but whatever. So Jason and Brandy go to counseling. So they were talking about it, but you could tell they were still censored. They didn't tell everything that was happening. And Brandy is still just really on the fence about the whole thing. But the counselor did point back, like, Brandy, are you still punishing him? And she's like, yes. Like, and she's letting her know you can't do that. And I understand women, like, when somebody hurts our feelings real bad, we're mean to them all the time, and there's almost nothing that they can do to come back. But, you know, like I've said before, they're married. So you either, it's been 7 months or a year or however long it's been. Let's say it's been 3 months. The show been on, this halfway through the season. So, hey, the show been on at least 2 months. So that's enough time to me. I know you can't just like you can't put a time on mourning, you can't really put a time on heartbreak, but you can put a timing on, you know, how long you're going to let your son deal with this back and forth and uncertainty, you know? So if anything for you guys' son, like, figure it out. Like, so within these last weeks, like, yeah, are you staying or not? That's what you need to kind of define. And I'm glad the counselor told Brandy that. So the next scene was Shaunie and Marlon. So Shaunie goes on a date with Marlon. They do paint and see, and that seems to be the thing now. I wanna try that because I can't really draw or paint, but it'll be fun to kind of try and see what happens. Then the next thing, oh, and as far as that, like, I don't know, like, Shaunie kind of gave a little rundown. So it's been 5 years since she's been divorced from Shaquille O'Neal. Now she's with Marlon, and they've been together pretty much almost the whole time. So she asked Marlon, like, oh, have you talked to my oldest son, you know, about anything? And I guess she brought that up because how the son asked her about the apartment. So she was just kind of asking Marlon, like, have you guys talked about anything? And Marlon was like, you know, we don't really talk about stuff like that. And mind you, they're pretty much the same age, y'all. Like, not even trying to be funny, but to me, Marlon's response was like, oh, we talk, but we don't talk about stuff like that. And to me, Shaunie kept trying to push, like, oh, it's good for my kids to have somebody they could go to, and Marlon is that person. I'm like, girl, bye. Marlon is not that person to talk to your 5 kids. I understand he's pseudo stepdaddy by now, but I don't think they have that much respect for him. Number one, you're buku rich, so if anything, they're going to come to mama. And, you know, let's not make it seem like Shaq is a bad dad. Like, I know just sending millions and not being there is not the same, but I've seen pictures with Shaq hanging out with the kids, or he's been on TV shows and the kids been with him. So don't make it seem like, oh, Shaq is an absentee father and they need to talk to Marlon. No, they either ask you or they call their daddy. I know they got Skype, iPad, iPhone. Shoot, they probably could take a private plane to go see their daddy real quick if they had a real emergency, you know? So I didn't like how Shaunie was kind of pushing Marlon to be the, like, pseudo stepdaddy or whatever. But whatever. So Malaysia and Jason talks. I think it looked like they were at the Serving Spoon. That's this place, restaurant here in Los Angeles. I've been wanting to go for a long time, but they have like after hours, so I don't usually be out that late, but I need to check them out one time. So Malaysia meets with Brandy's husband just to kind of talk. And I'm glad how she opened it. Like, look, I know you're her husband for all this time, and if anybody knows her, you do, but I'm her best friend, so hopefully I can give you some advice as her best friend. So that was really good. So Malaysia told her, like, she misses the high school days, and of course nothing's gonna be like the high school days, but she misses the love letters, the closeness, the picking her up. And then he was like, picking her up, like, I don't know if he's trying to say she too fat, because she's not that big, and for you to, he's really big and tall, so I think he could pick Brandy up. But that wasn't the point. That was just an example, just to say she missed the original love. So Malaysia was able to offer some advice, and it was so cute because when she was explaining it, she started to cry. And I think she started to cry because number one, it's like, oh, my friend, this is her emotional state. But number two, I feel like she could relate. Malaysia and her ex-husband were high school bulls too, from what I can recall. So she probably can relate to missing the old relationship. So Malaysia shared that stuff with Jason, so that was cool. So hopefully he listens, because although they have went to counseling already, I think knowing this inside track from a woman's standpoint, I think it'll work. If he does listen to Malaysia's advice. And then at the end, Jason was like, so I guess Jason is friends with Malaysia's ex-husband, or they live together or whatever. And I think Malaysia asked, like, so how's my friend? And Jason was like, it's written all over your face. Why don't you go ahead and call him? And I'm sorry, I totally agree. I know Malaysia's saying, like, oh, I'm better single, or I'm better not worried about getting cheated on. It is, to me, written all over her face that she's unsure if she made the right decision or not. I think the thing is, most women don't want to look like a fool. If your man keeps cheating over and over and over, eventually you do have to give up. And that's what, not give up, but just not take it anymore. And not taking it anymore oftentimes means divorce. And so Malaysia made that decision. But to me, it do look like she missed her man, and it do look like she may have not made the best decision. But, I only know certain details, so, hey, I can't say, but that's my perspective. So then Angel. So they go to show Angel. They show her 2 children. She has an older son and a little baby. And then they show her mom comes over. Her mom is blonde and she has dark hair. Now I could tell that the mom's hair is dyed, but I still don't think they have jet black hair. So I'm wondering who has the most alterations. Did the mother turn to a blonde lady? Or are they kind of light haired and Angel turned into like this super dark haired, not gothic looking chick, but like I wonder who's more authentic, her or the mother, because neither one of them looked alike at all. I mean, me and my mom have the same features, but like she's light and I'm dark. But I mean, I guess you could still tell we mother and daughter. But yeah, on them, I wouldn't have been able to tell that they were mother and daughter unless they had said that. So I don't know. Angel said her and Tyreek is on break, and her mama was like, I told you about that lifestyle, but you still chose to do it. And so I don't know what's gonna happen. Angel looking like she still think there's hope, but I don't know. It don't look like no hope to me, because we ain't heard from them or seen them or never even heard of her. And then from the mama's perspective, she said, "Girl, I think you need to move on. So, girl, you might need to listen to your mammy." So then the next thing is just the cancer event, you guys. It was a great Gatsby theme. And I don't know, you guys, everybody's outfit didn't look that great to me. Like something was off with everybody's outfit. Like Drea's hair thing didn't match. Brandy's head thing didn't match. Brandy's dress was cute, but her head thing didn't seem to go. Jackie's head thing didn't seem to go. I don't know. None of the outfits really like 100% mesh to me, which is surprising since they're LA, they're fashion, most of them have nice bodies, so you would think they would put on some killer outfits, but I think all of them was just trying to do too much, or maybe everyone is just not clear on what the theme Great Gatsby means. But Angel looked cute. To me, Angel's dress was the best, and Shani looked cute. Shani was the best, and then Angel was second to me. Shani had on all white with a little fur coat that looked really cute and elegant and sophisticated. And Angel kind of had on this long fitted dress. It was kind of black, so black dresses usually can go over well. So that was it. So like I said, they thought that Drea wasn't coming, and then Drea and Angel showed up, and it was funny because security didn't want to let them in, and I'm like, was that just for show, or maybe because their name wasn't on the list? Because Brandy did think they weren't coming, so maybe she didn't put them on the list. But Drea was like, no, telling the security, we'll just walk in. So she kind of just deboed the security, but so that was kind of funny. I think that whole not getting let in would have been a major deal if Drea coming and being controversial in the first place wasn't bigger. Like, I feel like if they didn't already have this fight going on between Drea and Brandy, I think Drea not getting in would have ended up being, or kind of getting questioned by security, would have ended up being a way bigger deal than what it was. But I think they needed to hurry up and get to the fight, so they kind of cut that whole Drea not being on the guest list like out as a major issue. Drea said she didn't say. Basically, Brandy was just like, oh, why are you here? Drea was like, I'm here for cancer. Brandy was just like, oh, you're just here for paparazzi to make it seem like you're doing a good thing. And Drea was like, I didn't say you were boring. I said the story's boring. But anyway, back and forth, they ended up getting into a huge brawl. And Brandy was just like, well, leave. And like I said, I hate when people do that. I just hate when I feel like people purposely want to embarrass you in public, or purposely want to have you somewhere and kick you out just because it's their event. That just irritates the heck out of me. Like, don't do that to people. Like, I understand though, Brandy feel like, well, hey, you said my cancer sucks, so yeah, I'm gonna kick you out my event. So I get it, but I don't know. If this is supposed to be a cancer event, Brandy, focus on your event. Walk around, mingle, say a speech, but you so focused on Drea at your own event. So that's why it just seemed like Brandy was doing too much on the argument. But like I said, I do get it. So anyway, Angel decides to try to be peacemaker between Brandy, Drea, and Malaysia. So even though after Drea stormed off, Angel was like, look, I just want to let you guys know, because my name is in this, I want to clear it up. I just want to let you know, at that point, I said Drea wasn't coming because at that point I thought she was not coming. But Drea does like you, and I wasn't trying to make a big fight by mentioning that she wasn't coming. Like, I didn't know if by telling Malaysia Drea wasn't coming, that Malaysia would run to Brandy, then Brandy would be mad, then we show up and then it's a fight. Angel was just like, I didn't know all of this was going to happen. But they just basically shut Angel down, Malaysia and Brandy. Like, you don't have nothing to do with this, stay out of it. And she didn't. Angel really did. She should have stayed out of it, but I know she didn't want to seem like the messy one between Drea and Malaysia and Brandy, So, girl, Drea came back and got Angel. Like, oh, we left together. We came together, so we gonna leave together. So, girl, Drea, bye. If you gonna leave or get kicked out, then leave. What if Angel wanted to stay? Angel, they friend. And earlier, Malaysia seemed a little shady on this part. Earlier, she knew that Angel was on Drea's side. So, in order to bring Drea over to Malaysia's side, Malaysia gonna ask Angel, like, can they partner up on a clothing line? You know what I'm saying? And Malaysia even said that, like, oh, I see Brandy still on Malaysia still on the. Malaysia said, oh, I still see that Angel's on the fence, so I'm gonna try to bring her in, or maybe I can get in business with her to reel her in. So Malaysia, you even truthfully said, like, you really don't want to do business with her, but you just don't want her to be on the fence and be more so on your side, so you're gonna offer her a business venture. That's kind of messed up. And then Malaysia didn't even wear the dress, y'all. Like I said, the butt crack was showing when she got it fitted. So Angel was supposed to fix it. And Angel fixed it supposedly, but Malaysia was like, it was still too low, so she didn't wear it. And she didn't think Angel was coming, so she didn't think it was no big deal that she didn't wear the dress Angel gave her. But when Angel showed up, Malaysia's like, oh, just so you know, I didn't wear the dress because, my butt crack was still showing. And Angel was like, no, it wasn't. I made sure of it. It's supposed to sit right on top. Now, Malaysia wear risque stuff a lot, or at least on Instagram, so I'm surprised she was making that big of a deal of it. But I could understand not wanting your butt crack to show. Or whatever. And honestly, the thing that Angel made looked way better than what Malaysia had on. I mean, her dress was cute. I like all white dresses all the time. So it was cute, but to me, the other dress was cuter. But whatever. Anyway, so back to the fight at the end. So Drea got kicked out and stormed off, but I guess she realized Angel wasn't running behind her, so she went back and grabbed her. And it's funny because the girls was like, Angel, you leaving too with your friends? And I guess she was like, I'm going to leave, but I wanted to say that piece. But like I said, they didn't receive Angel's piece. So in that time, Drea came back, grabbed Angel, and they left. So they went outside, you guys. So Angel was like, did you really say that? And she was like, if I did, so what? So Angel was like, ooh, Angel did a little face. So she didn't even know that Drea did say that cancer stuff or some variation of it. So she was just like, dang. And then Angel was just trying to explain, like, I don't understand why they don't understand that you care for them. How about we go back inside? You just apologize and let it be over. So Angel is real level-headed, y'all. Or in this scene, she seemed to be level-headed. But Drea was like, no, I'm not going back in there. She kind of felt like, hey, if I got kicked out, then they kick me out. I'm not going to beg for nothing, or I don't want to be nobody's friend who don't want to be mine. So Drea was just pissed, you guys. And she was like, she said something about Brandy's face always got this wicked scowl on it. It's funny because Brandy do got a strong face or whatever. So she was like, oh, because Angel was like, oh, you should have saw Brandy's face. She looked upset. Drea was like, she always looked like that. Like, she always got some scowl on her face. And I was like, that's funny. But Angel tried to get her back, you guys. But Drea just wasn't having it, you guys. So, I don't know. Like, Drea, I've seen girls like her. She's real pretty, yet she seems real insecure, whether it's about friendship, whether it's about men, or whatever. So, anyway, they didn't go back outside, you guys. So, I don't know what Angel's going to do. I don't know if she's going to ditch Drea or end up being loyal to her or what. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Next week it shows Tammy comes, so that's gonna be cool. And then it looks like Malaysia and Jackie get into it again. So I don't know. So there's more to come, and we'll just see what happens from there, you guys. So all right, you know what's up. Give me the thumbs up on this video. Hit me up on Twitter at TammyB_. That's TAMIB and the symbol _ All right, see you next time.